Some video of Mike Huckabee discussing Israel and Palestine was rediscovered this week, and it's bad.
You want a Palestinian state, but it doesn't have to be in Israel? Yeah. So what do you think about that? What should it be?
And basically, I mean, there really is no such thing as, and I have to be careful in saying this because people will really get upset, there's really no such thing as a Palestinian. There's not.
Finally, someone said it. Before 1948, there was all Arabs. I mean, it was
Arabs and Persians. You don't, you know, and there's such complexity within that. There's really no such thing. That's been a political tool to try to force land away from Israel. Well, my point is, if that's the issue, if it's real estate, if you look at a map and say, here's how much Israel has, and here's how much the Arab states hold, there's plenty of land for them to have, you know, let them take it out of Egypt, let them take it out of Syria, let them take it out of Jordan. There are plenty of places for this to be without sacrificing the Golan Heights, which would be suicide, utter suicide. And what worries me is, I mean, we've got to respect Israel's decisions to self-govern, but when I hear some of their leaders talking about giving up the Golan Heights, I'm thinking, tell me you're kidding.
So, in other words, when he hears politicians in Israel talking about the 1967 borders and doing a peace deal and doing a two-state solution, he says, are you kidding me? Why would you try to get long-term peace and stability? What are you, crazy? No, obviously you crush the Palestinians. That's what you're supposed to do. He's telling you right there, I'm not interested in negotiating. I'm not interested in negotiation. I'm not interested in a compromise. I'm not interested in peace. He's saying he dismisses it. When Israeli politicians say, maybe we should do the 67 borders, maybe we should talk about the Golan Heights, he's like, no, I think that's ridiculous. I say, are you kidding me? I'm appalled that you might try to get long-term peace and stability, and you might give back some of the land that you fucking stole from the Palestinians. Which leads to my next point. He goes, oh, the Palestinians don't exist. There is no such thing as a Palestinian. Really? What's so amazing about this argument is how often I hear it, apart from how fucking silly it is. Because if you look at history, the fucking Roman Empire referred to it as Palestine. So what do you mean there's no Palestinians? And by the way, even if that wasn't the case, and even if it was, let's say, a relatively recent phenomenon where people in that area had land and they said, we want to call this Palestine, that alone is enough for me, right? All the people on that territory, on that land say, this is our land and we would like to call it Palestine and have a state. How can anybody say back to them, that's wrong? I don't care what you guys say. I disagree. Who the fuck cares if you disagree? That's irrelevant. It's their land. They live there. They want to have a state. They call it Palestine. What does it even mean to disagree with that? It doesn't make sense. It's not something where it's disagreeable. So I think that's fucking absurd. But see, it's all, the idea is dehumanization and to try to make it not debatable. Notice, that's what you're doing there. When you say, well, the idea is, how can we negotiate with Palestinians if there's no such thing as a Palestinian? Aha! Got you. All the land is ours. No, but see, this is why right-wingers are fundamentally dangerous. Because again, he's telling you, I'm not interested in a negotiation, I'm not interested in peace. And understand, there are extremists on the other side as well, and I talk about them all the time. I would say Hamas, who wants a right to return and wants all the land, and you want to kick people off of even where the partition plan was from the 47 borders. Yeah, that's a right-wing idea, and that is a dangerous idea because that would require a war and more bloodshed. Okay, they're not interested in peace either. They're not interested in negotiations either. But Mike Huckabee, he thinks he's the good guy. No, you're the opposite extreme. You are the Israeli Hamas. That's what you are. You're Likud. You're the Jewish Home Party. You're an extremist. You're not interested in peace. You're not interested in a two-state solution. And then another part that's absolutely absurd. Well, they should just get off their land and go to Jordan or Egypt or Syria or something. Really? That's what they should do, Mike? How about I go to your bitch-ass home in Arkansas and I get in there and I tell your wife and kids, hey, get the fuck out. How about that? Then my place now. Why I say so? How you like them apples? Is that how the world should work, Mike? No, but see, again, this goes back to something we talk about all the time. The idea is, we're the good people. We're the good people by definition. So anything we do by definition is moral, is just, is righteous, and that's the end of the conversation. So if people on our team in Israel say, we are going to take all your land and you are going to move elsewhere, well, they're the good people, so they're allowed to do that. How is that any different from somebody in Hamas saying, I'm going to kick all the Jews off the land and take it, and I'm the good person by definition, so that's okay? It is no different than that, but you're unable to see that because you don't use logic and you don't use reason, and like I said, you're not interested in peace. You're not interested in negotiation. You're not interested in a compromise. What you're interested in is this all-or-nothing religious dogmatic approach, because make no mistake about it, as much as this issue is a religious issue for some people on the Palestinian side, same thing on the Israeli side, same thing on the Muslim side and the Jewish side. And a guy like Mike Huckabee, he is a Christian fundamentalist. He's an evangelical, and he's on the record as thinking that's where end of days happens. That's where the apocalypse happens. And he knows the story in the Bible, and he knows it has to all be Jewish land in order for that to happen. So because of his voodoo belief system, which isn't true, which is an ancient desert book, he wants to hurt real people today that exist in Palestine based on metaphysical horseshit. Well, this is why you should be nowhere near any position of power. Never mind President of the United States. You're not mentally fit to be a manager at Arby's, son.